wanted to discuss with you today basically giving the forearms a little bit of care and attention. I think everyone struggles occasionally, certainly if you're using computers a lot for work, but I'm very aware that people might be using them a little bit more or a funny angle and putting a little bit more pressure on this part of your body really. What we'll go through is a couple of good stretches to really sort of get some length back into your flexors and your extensors, which are teeny tiny muscles that will wrap into your forearm there, and a little bit of a massage that you can give yourself at home in the absence of obviously being able to get into somebody, but keeping your forearms more comfortable and hopefully keeping anything like carpal tunnel at bay. So one of the best stretches to do to get right into this part of your arm, again, as I always say, not to the point of pain, you would just gently push your hand with your other hand up at this angle there. So you're just applying a little bit of pressure, not to the point of pain, as I've said, just so you should feel a nice stretch going through there. You would hold this for 45 seconds, ease off and then repeat. And this is a good way to try and encourage these muscles to go back to their fully functioning length, which is what we always want from a stretch anyway. So once you've done that your 3 times on both sides, you might only be getting discomfort in one arm, but always treat the other arm as well, because you'd be, maybe doing more with one hand if the dominant hand is a little bit unhappy. Next stretch would be to basically apply pressure down there. Now you can, if you wish, to bend your fingers. It gives you a little bit more of a stretch. I personally find I need to do this because I do stretch regularly to make sure that I'm fit and healthy as I can be to keep treating people. Obviously I use my arms a lot in my job. So you would again hold this for 45 seconds and you should be getting a nice stretch right from here all the way down. Try and keep your arm nice and flat. I mean, you don't have to hold it up like that. I'm holding it up like that for demonstration purposes, but you should get a nice stretch through there. And again, you'd repeat 3 times on each side. So that's a good way to get some length back into your forearms, and hopefully undo any sort of sitting with them at a funny angle when you're on laptops and phones and whatever it is you're using at home. What you can then go on to, I will use a little bit of lotion because I just find it sort of moves a little bit easier. You can then just sort of massage the forearm and the hand. The hand obviously has got a lot of fine little muscles in there, and again that will be getting quite uncomfortable if you're not careful. So what you can do is find a natural little dip in your arm. So mine's got a dip there, if you can see. And then you're just going to roll across. Now what you should find is you'll probably ping over the fine little muscles that are in your forearm. I mean, you can assist it by rotating this arm round, so you don't have to just do it with the hand that you're massaging with. You can sort of do it with both. So I tend to find that I do that, and as you can see, I'm bumping over those muscles. It's not painful. I can feel that they're being, ironed out, but they're not painful. And you'd work all the way up and down the arm. Now, be a little bit gentle around your wrist because it's obviously not got as much meaty muscle there. It's got finer muscles and you don't want to be hurting yourself. So you would just do that for 2 or 3 minutes maybe, just to iron the arm out. Now, you can do this without lotion. I find that I'm used to using lotions, so I tend to use something. You can use moisturiser or something like that if you haven't got obviously a massage specific lotion at home. And you just basically work in those muscles there. Now, to get to the underside of your arm, you just do the same. I don't tend to rotate there, but I just roll across. And as you can see again, I'm kind of bumping over the muscles there. You can also work up and down the muscle. I tend to find I work a little bit firmer at the top of the muscle and then just go down, and you'll find that your thumb will naturally find some grooves within your forearm, and by all means work through those. You don't want to be working straight onto the belly of the muscle necessarily, because that might be a little bit uncomfortable, but what you'll find is that you can feel a natural line that you can follow, and again you can do the same on the top. I've got a couple of little knotty bits in there, but as I say, I do use my forearms an awful lot in my day-to-day life, but maybe not so much at the moment, but certainly they do take a little bit of a battering. So you can just work through, and as you can see, I'm just going nice and slowly down those muscles there. And again, you could do this for maybe 2 minutes or so, and then just give it a nice little gentle sort of rub at the end there. So again, should get you nice and loose, and you'll probably find actually the movement in your tissues is a lot better. We do tend to, if you're gonna get tightness in your forearm here, there tends to be quite a gnarly little bit that I find on most people when they get in trouble with sort of pain in their wrists or anything like that, or in their elbow sometimes. But you'll find that you might get a little bit that's a little bit more uncomfortable. You can just leave a little bit of pressure on there. It's a little bit of trigger point release. That little bit that you'll find that's a little bit more uncomfortable is a knot or a trigger point. And you can just rest on it, and what you'll find is it should ease up quite nicely. So that would be your forearm massage. So then what you need to do is really focus on your hand. So again, using the thumb of the other hand, you're just going to gently work down and do some circular motions. You don't realise how tight your hands get. They're very good at hiding it. And then before you know it, you can be quite uncomfortable in your hands, achy in the joints and things like that. So just a gentle sort of rub across the nice meaty part of that part there and there. They actually are quite knotty a lot of the time. So just gentle circular motions on there is lovely to ease that tension up. And then you would work you'll find, don't put too much pressure on here because you'll hurt yourself, because obviously the back of your hands are quite thin-skinned really, and the muscles don't stick out as much as in other places. So just gently working down your fingers or between your fingers to loosen up there. And you can sort of roll across as well, gently. I mean, it looks like I'm putting a lot of pressure on there, I'm not, but gently across. So just loosen up the tissues there. And hopefully that will keep your forearms and your hands a little bit happier. Something that you should try and do once a week, maybe, or a couple of times a week, depending if you're having problems or not. But as I say, just give this bit of your arm a little bit of care and attention occasionally. We tend to forget it, mainly because it doesn't ache as much as our shoulders might do when we're uncomfortable, but it can get quite tight, and actually it can cause problems further up the arm and then up into your neck and your shoulders, depending on what's going on. But hopefully those stretches will help, and a little bit of self-massage will also help. As I say, don't have to use lotion, do what you feel is best. You can go across without if you prefer.